Bitcoin approaching that $40,000 area. Cardano bulls making a run of its own. In this video, I want to break it down, but I also want to talk about one thing we all need to be very careful for. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. On the way in for this live stream, we're making moves right now at the very short term. At the very least, in this moment, if you're a bull, you're feeling good. You're feeling swell. Hit the like if you're a bull. Hit the like if you're a bear. I don't care. I really appreciate the support as we get these live streams going. It helps with the algorithms. So smash the like. Let's jump into the video. Here's the daily. Here's the daily on Bitcoin. The daily candle. Look at that wick. There was like this powerful move out of nowhere. I wasn't even watching the screen. I was with the family, and it's just one of those things, right? And we have to take it for what it's worth in the moment, track it, and we're going to do that. We're going to dig into it. I will talk about what we need to be cautious for. It's obvious what we need to be cautious for. Still need to be cautious for a lower high resistance area, but all things are really truly coming together. The weekly chart. This is the weekly chart, everybody. We've slowly, we've cautiously, we've optimistically have been really tracking the support that Bitcoin has seen. And what that is to me, at least, if we go and we get our Fibonacci tool, if I can open it, Fibonacci retracement, that bull market high to bear market low. I'm telling you, and this is as a technical analyst on YouTube, right? And I'm just a dude out here just tracking price. I'm just sharing data with you because it's what I'm interested in. That's why I started the channel. But doing these videos for weeks and weeks and weeks above this 1618 line on this macro chart has been really grueling, because like a lot of the time we're getting a move to the upside. We're talking about potentially getting extension from this 1618 line. This is a 1618 line, same type of line we tested in the middle of the last bull market. And this is what we've been talking a lot about. I don't want to repeat myself, but we've been tracking this sideways consolidation for Bitcoin, waiting for trends to be broken, waiting for consolidation to be broken. I mean, when we look at the daily chart even, and we're just checking it out, this is what the consolidation looks like. It's downward consolidation. There's the descending triangle. There's the right shoulder somewhere in here, right, that we talked about, that huge head and shoulders that everybody talking about. We talked about the case for this to be a busted head and shoulders with a target to at least $72,000, $73,000 for that to take effect. But it's been grueling, truly, to just continue talking about Bitcoin as we just consolidate sideways above this 1618 on the macro. But here we are, and we're waiting for this trend reversal, this confirmation. And what I use is very clear. It's the Fibonacci resistance areas. Obviously, we use moving averages. It's so good to see the 50-day moving average, to see Bitcoin above that area. We haven't seen Bitcoin so powerfully above that area for a while. The last time it was actually above that area, I mean, was basically back in May, above that 50-day moving average, this blue line. Bitcoin breaking above it right now. Now, what I want to do is we can talk about the bullish upside, but I really do want to talk about where to be cautious, and because that's what I'm all about right here. Like I'm long-term bullish, everybody. I truly am. I'm so long on Bitcoin. I'm so long on Cardano. But to the upside, we can talk about that. But what I want to talk about is where to be cautious. And right now, I just want to paint a picture for you. And I want to preface this by saying I think we're in the middle of this bull market. I do not think this was the top of the bull market. I don't. But if we're going to really be cautious, when we look at the top of the last bull market, right, and this is just a very simple picture of macro downtrends, we see this 50-day moving average, right, all back here. And Bitcoin, even in a downtrend, it made its way up and above briefly, right? Boom, briefly, and then boom, each time being a lower high. And that is very simply what we want to be cautious of right now. We want to make sure Bitcoin truly is doing something special here and not just putting in a lower high. And we start getting some confirmations of what that might look like by truly breaking the top of this right shoulder right here. And that's, not that far away. I mean, we're looking at right around $41,000. If we go to the weekly chart, I've been talking about Bitcoin for weeks now, saying, listen, if we enter this insanely bearish environment, which many people are fearful of, if that happens, even still, I think Bitcoin's going to test this 20-week moving average. It's just, it just seems like that's historically what Bitcoin would do and has done and what it will do again. And so far, we're making our way up to that area. I mean, that 20-week moving average right now is only around $44,000. That's a $6,000 move away for Bitcoin. Bitcoin was just approaching $40,000. So this test is here, and this is truly going to be a game changer in terms of all of the sentiment and the arguments and the battling you see on Twitter and YouTube. Everybody arguing bull market, bear market. This is going to really put it all to rest if Bitcoin breaks above that 20-week moving average. But I digress from that because we're not there yet. We still have to get there. And it starts here on the 6-hour chart. Now, if we're looking at the 6-hour chart on Bitcoin, check it out. The short-term resistance broken. Actually, a couple resistance areas broken. The other day, we talked about pretty much inverse head and shoulders type of deal we had going on here. Very ugly, but the story is the same. The bears losing a battle. The bulls putting in some higher lows on the short term. Breakout target into that $35,000 area. We got it. This is the upper trend line of just this trend Bitcoin was in. And we were looking for Bitcoin to break that trend line, which it has done. And we were also looking for Bitcoin, the start of that trend line, this high right here, to this low right here. We were looking for Bitcoin to break this resistance. That inverse head and shoulders that we see here on the chart, this was the beginning of that potentially happening with that target slicing right through that resistance. So on the short term, we've gotten the bullish reversal. So now it's stepping stones. Even on the short term, Bitcoin can come back down. Can we put in a higher low? Can this continue to the upside? But let's track this move. I mean, this move isn't even over. And we start going into the midterm now. What we're looking at there is kind of this swing high. And we call it like an enigma, this anomaly, I guess, for Bitcoin putting in this swing high out of nowhere. Got the markets pretty hype, and we want to be very careful that that's not something that's happening right now. So what we're tracking though is a midterm resistance. It's that high that Bitcoin put in to this swing low capitulation, and it happened pretty quick. Remember, to $28,000 or so, and we have this resistance area, and this is a more midterm $38,600 at the 786 to 36,400. This is an area where we really can start getting bullish on the macro again. I'm bullish on the macro. Many people are not. And for those people, this is an area. If you start seeing Bitcoin break above, and it's no surprise we're getting this immediate resistance here at the 786 around 38,500. We're wicking above it, back below it. We're trading in the resistance area right now. But this is a midterm resistance area. If Bitcoin, and I don't know what's gonna happen here, but if Bitcoin can start closing 6-hour candles, daily candles above the 786 and get overextension from that area, that's a very, very good sign for bullish reversal on the midterm. But it's stepping stones. We got the first one on the short term. Here's our midterm resistance. Let's test it. Let's see what Bitcoin does. And on the downside, please keep in mind, it's very nice, right? We get it. We look at the daily chart. It's beautiful. Just green candles. But please remember, even in uptrends, at the very least, sideways, right? Especially at resistance. Here's that 786 line we just talked about. Sideways, red candles, back down to 36. Not only that, we could see a higher low. Now, this has moved up. It's a swing low to now this new swing high. We have a support area all the way down here, $33,200 to $31,500 area. That's support. So keep in mind now that we have all of this uptrend, we have to be aware for this consolidation, right? This is a game of patience. So that's what we're tracking. Very good sign though in the short term for Bitcoin, breaking that 50-day moving average, breaking this short-term resistance, and right now breaking into this midterm resistance area. So, and all the while continuing the story that we've been talking about on this YouTube channel, which is the 1618 area, this line right here. And if we go to the weekly chart, that line, this is what it looks like, that 1618 bounce right at the 50-week moving average. And it's just such a similar bounce that Bitcoin had in the middle of the last bull market. Remember, I'm not even talking about on-chain metrics right now. I'm not even talking about the accumulation that's been happening right now. I'm not even talking about the supply shock that is in play right now for Bitcoin on the macro charts. And not even talking about the FOMO that potentially is getting ready to happen, because FOMO is probably not even happening right now. So that's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. I do want to actually show a clip from this, because this is an important indicator for me personally. I watch this chart a lot. So check this out from yesterday. But this is the environment in which Bitcoin gets in when it is in kind of this uptrend. And we've seen it time and time again where we're in a very powerful bull market. And this is just what's recently transpired in this bull market so far. Look how often. So check it out. This is the 6-hour RSI for Bitcoin. I want to go to it real quick because I want to track this. So we were talking about Bitcoin getting into this overbought environment being a good thing. I know it gets a little dicey because we're like, hey, we're overbought. You better be careful. We're about to get a pullback, which is true. That can happen. But this move that you see here is an illustration of momentum. It's an illustration of the reversal that we're looking for, reversal into a bull environment. Now notice this entire retracement all the way back to May. Bitcoin has not even been in that area. Bitcoin has just been sleeping. The bulls have been sleeping. Now, if we go back and we look at the parabolic environment Bitcoin was in since, September, October, November, all here on the charts, look at Bitcoin on the 6-hour getting in this overbought area. Obviously, we came back, we consolidated along the way, but that's a good thing for Bitcoin to see that move, that power move on the momentum oscillator. That's the RSI on the 6-hour. So let's do it. Hit the like button, everybody, by the way, if you're here right now. First off, thank you for coming by. We got 2,518 peeps in here, 608 likes. Come on, that ratio is terrible. I appreciate all of you cruising by either way, whether you hit the like or not. But hit that like. Let's make those YouTube algorithms happy, and let's also at the same time, let's pivot over. Let's pivot over to Cardano. This is on the weekly. I didn't even prepare my charts, so they're very messy right now. So let me navigate through this with you. You know what? I do feel like I repeat myself a lot with this chart, and I really just don't care, because if I repeat myself, it's because I'm long on Cardano and it excites me. And if you're long on Cardano, first off, hit the like. But second of all, I bet you it excites you too, this chart, because this is what we're talking about, this story of these hard forks. And we have the Alonzo hard fork somewhere up in here, September area. We had the Mary hard fork in March, and we had the Shelley hard fork in July. It's just this thing for me. Like, I don't even know what's going to happen. And as I've talked about it for months now, this area leading into it, I've known that we could get opposite of what we had here going into Mary hard fork. And we could get opposite of what we had here going into Shelley. We could just get, oh man, failure or something on the price for Cardano going into Alonzo, and the completion of the Goguen era and smart contracts being delivered to the world on Cardano blockchain. Price could tank. Trust me, I don't know. I can't tell you. I literally don't know. That's why I'm tracking it so enthusiastically, because I'm really curious to see how this chart plays out. But historically, we do see trends. And if we're in the middle of a bull market right now, Cardano to me is just the strongest play. There's so much upside, especially because I truly 100%, I know there's people betting against the delivery of smart contracts and all that. I just 100% am very confident in it. But going into this weekly chart, very curious to see what happens. Let's zoom in real quick, because there's a really big piece of this chart we should take note of. And that is, you can actually see this green line right here, right around $1.40. Cardano actually, I guess, I mean, I don't know where I was or what I was doing. Did Cardano really wick to $1.40? So that $1.40 is a 20-week moving average, and it's such a key area if Cardano can get back above that area in the middle of this bull market right now, because Bitcoin doing its own thing on the weekly chart. Let me go over real quick. Bitcoin on the weekly approaching its own 20-week moving average. We talked about that test, right? Bouncing off the 50-day. Cardano, if we look at its own weekly, didn't even really approach this 50-week moving average. And I'm sorry, it was Bitcoin on the 50-week moving average. This is Cardano on the 50-week moving average. This blue line didn't even really approach it, right? We saw so much support for Cardano at $1, and trying to pivot back up to that 20-week moving average, $1.40. It's a really big move that I'm tracking on this macro Cardano chart. I think it could spur something extremely beautiful in terms of a bullish move for Cardano if Cardano can make its way there. But again, what we have to do is look at other things, right? We know Cardano has consolidated. It's had the time to do so. We talked about it even as we were just getting overextended from the 20-week moving average, getting pulled into it. Didn't want to see it break below. I did not want to see it break below. We're below it. Cardano bulls struggling and fighting to get back above. But needless to say, Cardano consolidated into that 20-week moving average. It's illustrated on the RSI. And most importantly, check this out. If we look at the weekly chart, and we're spending a lot of time here, but it's important. If you look at this weekly chart, this consolidation below the 20-week moving average was right before the beginning of the bull market. Check this out on the RSI. Cardano consolidating right here on this RSI, right in the middle there. Very similar area where it is right now. Also oversold on the stock RSI, this quicker moving momentum oscillator. Same thing here. Cardano oversold on this stock RSI. So needless to say, the setup is just there. The launch pad for Cardano is there if we are in the middle of this bull market, as I think we are. And I want to highlight this. Be careful. Just because I think something does not mean it's going to happen. I say that I think we are, full well knowing in the back of my mind, we may not be. And I'm 100% prepared for downside. I'm 100% prepared for just a crazy, ugly fake out. Cardano price goes down, Bitcoin price goes down. I really want everybody to be prepared for those scenarios because it is a crypto and this can happen very quick. As quick as right now, we're just feeling, hey, there's some upside momentum right now. We can continue in this bull market. As quick as that thought comes, the whole thing can just boom to the downside. And if you've been in crypto a while, you know that. It doesn't matter how much on-chain metrics you know. It doesn't matter how much charting you know. It doesn't matter how much you believe in crypto and how it's just going to keep going parabolic in the long term. It doesn't matter. Crypto can just crash at any time, and that's just something we have to accept. It's an environment in which we have to live in. It's an environment in which we have to be prepared for. And that's how you win, because in those environments, that's where the opportunity is. But I digress from that, and let's start looking at the charts. This is Cardano on the daily. So here we go. And this is actually where we do need to be careful on Cardano. So looking at this daily chart, you can see on the daily RSI, Cardano breaking this little trend since basically, beginning of June. So almost 2 months on this RSI here, Cardano making a little uptick above. Now, what's so crucial, I think, for me right now when I'm looking at this chart is what I see here is still Cardano testing resistance. And this is why there's massive caution needed. From all-time high for Cardano, it has been all-time high. It has been gains, right? A nice bounce to a lower high. And there's the gains. Probably did a live stream there talking about Cardano's testing resistance. Can it break it? Well, it didn't. It didn't break resistance. And then bounce to resistance. Lower high. Failed. And here we are. A bounce to resistance. Is it going to fail again? We have to use massive amounts of caution. And this is why I do these technical analysis videos, so that we can start waiting and watching for confirmations. I mean, there are Fibonacci resistance areas all over this Cardano chart. And if we zoom out here on the 6 hour, we can kind of get a sense. So what I want to track, or what I want to chart, is first this Fibonacci. If I can find this Fibonacci retracement, this last swing high back here, this was July 4th or so, to the swing low, and we have this resistance area. And let me get rid of this other resistance area. We have so many. So this area right here on the charts, and I already have it highlighted, but the 786 right around $1.39, $1.40. Notice that $1.40 area is the 20-week moving average on the weekly. So $1.40, huge resistance for Cardano. But the 618 down here, right around $1.31, $1.32, right where Cardano is right now, that's huge resistance as well. This is what it looks like. This rectangle, Cardano approaching resistance. What's going to happen? If we look at the 6 hour chart, we can just see, and actually I want to go back to the daily because I want to just show you something. If we go look at the daily chart, what do we have here? Not only a series of lower highs, but we have just this area on the stock RSI where Cardano is getting a nice little push to the upside, right? And you can see it. We're overbought. And the same exact thing happened each time before, each lower high before. Getting overbought, right? And then what happens? It just comes back down. It fails at resistance. What we want to see is Cardano kind of hang out a little bit, or even just come down a little for some short-term consolidation, sideways consolidation, and just kind of continue up here for a little bit on this chart. At the very least, we want to see consolidation. We don't want to see price crash as we have seen in these lower highs. And what we have to look out for, and by the way, you can just see Cardano breaking this upper trend line. What we want to look out for, going back to the 6-hour chart, is support to hold, some type of support to hold for Cardano. And what that looks like, we did it on Bitcoin. We can do it here. We have a higher low area on the Fibonacci retracement. It's that last swing low. I can't believe it. We were just at a dollar area the 20th, 5 days ago. We're at a dollar area. Now we're up to $1.31. So swing low to swing high. Let's just say it's right there at $1.33. That's the swing high resistance. The support for Cardano right now would be down here around $1.13 at the 618 to $1.08 at the 786. It doesn't necessarily mean that Cardano is going to come down to that area, but that's that kind of fail-safe area of support for Cardano right now we want to track. What's good about that is after this move, on the 21st, 4 days ago, if you would have asked me what support looked like, we can take the swing low to swing high. Here's where support was right there, all the way down here, $1.08 to $1.06. You can see how support's moving up as Cardano price moves up, and this move is not over. One thing we do know, though, is Cardano is testing resistance right now, and this is the area we want to see Cardano break. We have to use caution, though, in this area. It's just been lower highs. We've been here before, everybody. We truly have. And this is the last time we were here. It wasn't even that long ago, the beginning of July, like 21 days ago, July 4th, my anniversary with my wife. I can't even forget the date. So boom, to the downside, back up to a lower high area resistance. The question is it going to be boom to the downside, or are we going to get that special bullish reversal we're waiting for, that confirmation, a break above this resistance area? Once again, the resistance area, $1.31 to right around $1.39 area for Cardano. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, everybody, but this is a very interesting move. It would be no surprise as we test the resistance area, we see some sideways now. Maybe we get another 6 hour to the upside and then sideways. Either way, so sideways at resistance, not a bad thing at all. It's in fact something good to see. But if we get the sideways and we start moving back down, that's not what we want to see. What we want to see is, even at the very least, sideways, and then we're breaking above the Fibonacci and we're getting overextension from that area. And then we're starting to talk about a bullish reversal for Cardano. And again, it's going to be a trying time of patience ahead, because we get this breakthrough the resistance. Even it's not just off to the races and all-time highs in a week. It's a road of patience, meaning we could get a throwback to the this upper trend line of this triangle we've been tracking, all the way back down to like $1.15 before continuation. Descending triangles. Let's just take a look real quick. I have it open. Throwbacks 60% of the time for descending triangles. So this is why we have to remain patient. We can't get too hype. We have to remain cautious. But again, if you're a bull, you can be optimistic in the fact that Cardano right now is making a move to the upside. We're testing resistance, and there's potential that we could break above that resistance, putting in a bullish confirmation. But again, 60% throwback rate. So we're always going to be cautious for downside, even in bullish environments. So that is that, everybody. I appreciate you cruising by. Wanted to do a nice little quick live stream to discuss what's going on with Bitcoin and Cardano. If you're bullish right now, just hit the like button for me. There's like buttons. I'm telling you, they mean a lot to us YouTubers. If you are holding Cardano, you know what to do, everybody. CCV3, we're at 24 million, just over 24 million Cardano, just crazy. Over 2,000 delegates in this pool, and we're just growing, everybody. So I appreciate all of your support as you accumulate Cardano. And I appreciate each and every one of you and your support as we're just growing and growing this YouTube channel. We're striving. We are striving for 100 or 300,000. What's up? What's up, Carlos? What is up, Carlos? Thank you. Thank you, Matt. I'm just going through some comments, everybody. I'm taking a breath. Daniel Williams says, I need a small dip to buy back in. Daniel, we just had a dip. Hey, maybe you will get a dip. We're at resistance right now. If you look at that chart, we're at resistance. Cardano is at resistance. You look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at its own midterm resistance right here. James says, this is fun. I 100% agree. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you. Jimmy, Harmon, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of you guys. That's how I feel, Matt. We are in this together, people. That's how I feel when I'm doing these videos. Like, that's the thing. I'm just doing these videos. I'm not talking at you guys. I'm just talking with you. Like, these are the charts. We're always bringing up the charts. I know you guys are bringing up the charts. You know, even if you're in other cryptos, you're watching these charts. I'm watching them with you. I'm just trying to track the data with you. Andy Lee, God bless you as well. Amazon accepting ADA. I think it's an insider basically saying that ADA is on the list after Bitcoin. I don't think it's 100% confirmed. Nicholas, say Fibonacci one more time. I dare you. Fibonacci. Thank you, Daniel. All right, everybody. Time for me to go relax. Thanks again for coming by. If you're here right now and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe, everybody. Smash that subscribe button. Really means a lot to me. Hit the like button on your way out. Let's see what Bitcoin and Cardano do. You know what to look for. It's all in this video. Let's see if the resistance can be broken. We're cautiously optimistic. In the meantime, have an awesome night, a good start to your week. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.